Masturbation. You do it, I do it, pretty much everybody does it. And yet most men have never stopped to assess how they're doing it or whether their habits are actually hurting their performance in bed. But here's the truth. The way you masturbate directly affects how you experience sex. From your stamina to your sensitivity to how deeply you feel pleasure. Your masturbation routine is either setting you up for success or quietly sabotaging you. So let me ask you, how would you know if you were wanking wrong? In this video, I'm going to perform a full step-by-step masturbation assessment. I'm gonna break down all of the factors that go into self-pleasure, from where you do it to how often to what's actually going on in your mind or not during the act. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to tweak in your routine to make your solo sessions work for you, so that when it comes to sex, you last longer, feel more, and have better orgasms. And if you want to take things even further, I'll be telling you about my course, Masturbation Hacks, where I teach all of this in depth and give you everything you need to completely transform your self-pleasure habits into a tool for better sex. Let's get into it. Step 1, assess the context. Before you even begin to touch yourself, the context of your masturbation routine sets the stage for its impact on your sex life. Think about your typical self-pleasure session. Do you always do it at the same time of day, in the same place in your house, in the same bodily position? Do you find you're always rushing it as a form of quick stress release, or do you ever allow yourself to really take the time to enjoy the experience? Every decision you make around the context has some kind of effect. For example, if you're always sticking to the same rushed and secretive routine, your body is being trained to rush through pleasure and not savor it fully. Ask yourself how the context of your masturbation routine might be training your body and your sexual performance, taking all of these factors into consideration. Step 2, assess your erotic material. Now that we've covered context, let's see what really gets you going. Do you rely on porn every single time you masturbate? And what kind of porn? Is it always the same? Is it kind of extreme? Do you even know what extreme is? Could it be extreme and you don't even know that? Often porn can actually desensitize us over time, and we can end up needing to get more and more intense porn in order to get the same level of aroused. And I see this with a lot of my clients. They watch some kind of extreme or hardcore porn. They didn't even realize that they were getting there. They were like a frog boiling in water, slowly amping up what they were watching. And then all of a sudden they're with a woman and it just doesn't feel stimulating enough. One woman cannot make up for the entire catalog of the most intense and sometimes kind of depraved activities that have ever been recorded ever anywhere. If this is you, one of the best things that you can do for your sex life is wean off porn and just take a little tolerance break. Start building your own personal pathways to arousal. I have a whole series of videos about this that you can check out after this one. The truth is, you already have all of the tools at your disposal. Learning to masturbate to fantasy, to visualization, aka imagining something vividly and visually in your mind, and memories of past sexy experience will change your relationship with yourself and your partner. I think about it like this. Porn lets the screen do all of the work for you. When you learn to link your masturbation with your own mind and your own fantasies, you will feel that much more connected to yourself, which allows you eventually to connect with others more intently. Step 3, and I touched on this earlier, but assess your physicality. A lot of guys don't realize this, but the way that you position your body while you masturbate is training it for its needs in the bedroom. When you assess your physicality, here are some things to consider. Do you switch up positions when you are masturbating alone? Or are you training your body to only be able to accept pleasure when you're in the same seated position? Do you only find it possible to orgasm in the same position every single time? And what does that have in common with your masturbation? Also, how tightly do you grip yourself? I hate to break it to you, but there are not enough Kegels in the entire world to make a vagina that can match the grip of a human hand. If your grip is super tight or focused on one singular specific motion, then you could be desensitizing yourself to the real thing. Also, are you masturbating dry? If so, you are desensitizing yourself with the amount of friction that you're creating. Vaginas are wet. If you want to prepare for wet conditions, you gotta do wet practice, which means bringing in some form of lubricant when you touch yourself. Also, are you holding your breath ahead of orgasm? Are you engaging your muscles in a specific way, like you always tense up your left butt cheek in order to get to orgasm? Remember that anything that is routine in your masturbation will show up as routine in your actual sex life. Step 4, assess how you finish. Let's talk about the big finale. How you approach your orgasm is one of the biggest factors in training your body through the act of masturbation. If you're always going after the fastest fastest release possible, then you are training yourself to be a sprinter and not a marathon runner. And the same is true if you're edging over and over and over and over again, you may be training yourself to be a marathon runner instead of a sprinter. Lots of men go through masturbation and frantically rush from 0 to 100 or 0 to 99 to 0 to 99 to 0 to 99 to 0 to 99. You want to be able to handle variation when you are with your partner. If you want to masturbate for sexual success, think about variation when it comes to the big finale. And if you are a guy that deals with premature ejaculation, make a goal for yourself to get longer and longer and longer times on the clock so that your body knows that it can last that long. Next up, assess your mindset. The last but one of the most important pieces to assess when you masturbate is your mind, your thoughts, the ticker tapes of words and images that are scrolling through your mind all the time. Now, we all know, because we are subscribed to this channel, that sex is as much of a mental game as it is a physical one. Good sex requires presence, connection, and curiosity. Think about it. How present are these traits in your own self-loving routine? Are you present and curious with yourself? Or are you mindlessly getting off to porn? Are you really present in the pleasure that your body is experiencing, or are you a little numb to it? Do you feel shame or even insecurity when you masturbate? Or do you masturbate in order to celebrate yourself and make yourself feel good? Are you one of the many men who struggles with feelings of shame or insecurity around masturbation and self-pleasure and the ritual itself? Masturbation is a natural and necessary part of being a person. You deserve pleasure and sexual satisfaction, and bringing that to yourself is a healthy part of being alive. If you approach self-pleasure from an unhealthy place, a place that lacks presence, you better believe that that's gonna bleed into other areas of your life. And not just sex with others, but the way that you do everything. The way you masturbate says so much about your relationship with your body, your pleasure, your sexual experience, and with others. And if you're approaching self-pleasure like it's a bad habit, that is going to have ripple effects outside of yourself in no time. Do you know that the highest factor that contributes to whether or not someone thinks he is addicted to porn is not how much porn he watches, but his religiosity? In other words, if you feel a lot of shame around the experience or that what you're doing is wrong, you're more likely to feel like you don't have control over the experience. And that's not a very empowered place to come from. The good news is, no matter where you are in your current masturbation routine, you have the ability to turn the way you touch yourself into a sexual superpower. There are ways to optimize your routine that will feel not just better in the moment, but will be priming your body for better sex, more stamina, and more pleasure. And that's exactly why I created Masturbation Hacks, the only course that teaches you how to turn your solo sessions into a tool for mind-blowing sex, deeper pleasure, and rock-solid stamina in the bedroom. Because most men have never been taught how to masturbate, at least not in a way that improves their sex life. And if no one ever taught you, how could you possibly know how to do it right? That's exactly why so many men struggle with premature ejaculation, desensitization, and frustration in bed. And I get it. You might be thinking to yourself, Caitlin, that's lovely, but what can a woman teach me about how to touch myself? I mean, what can anyone teach me about that? But that's exactly why I'm the right person for this. Because as a sex coach who works with men every single day and has sex with men in my private life too, I don't just understand what's happening on your end. I also understand how your habits are affecting your partner's pleasure and her overall experience in bed. This course is built on science, real-world techniques, and the proven methods that have worked for hundreds of men in my coaching and thousands who have gone through my courses. And I know it works because I see the results every single day. And of course, to make this a no-brainer, I always offer a 90-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't see a difference in your stamina, in your sensitivity, your overall pleasure, I will give you a full refund, no questions asked. So when it comes to masturbation, you have two choices. You can keep doing the same thing and hope for different results, or you can start masturbating in a way that actually enhances your sex life. And trust me, when you get this right, it's not just you who notices. And that's whether you're single or with a partner. You will feel different. People around you will see you as different. This is actually quite good for you. The link to Masturbation Hacks is below. Join now, and you can start to use self-pleasure to boost the best parts of your life. I'm Caitlin V. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you here next week. Bye.